And I'm back again. It's Saturday, September 12th, and it's about a little after noon, and I'm over in Cape May again, and I want to make a follow-up video to the one that I made yesterday about, or 2 days ago, about the fine dining scene in Cape May. And this video, I want to just give a quick rundown of what I consider the casual dining scene in Cape May. And similar to the way that I began my video on fine dining, I'll give a short description of what I consider to be casual dining. And it's sort of a default, because it's not fine dining and it's not fast foods. Casual dining is, to me, a restaurant that has table service, so it's not like a buffet type of situation. You go in and you have a table and a server that comes to your table and takes your order. It has not the kind of decor that you find in fine dining establishments. Typically, I think casual dining has a wider variety in terms of the menu. In other words, you get everything from pizza to burgers to a steak, a New York strip steak or a prime rib or some type of seafood. I think casual dining is also, typically they have seating areas, dining areas separate from a bar, and oftentimes the bar will have large screen TVs showing various sporting events for people sitting around the bar or at tables. The other thing that I would say characterizes casual dining is they are all kid-friendly. So while if you're going out to dinner with young children, you probably would not be going to one of the fine dining restaurants that I talked about on my previous video. But casual dining is very conducive and to families with young children, and they are kid-friendly, so kids can make a little bit more noise in those type of restaurants. So, having said that, I want to give a list of some of the casual dining establishments in Cape May. Certainly this is not all exclusive or all encompassing, and these are the restaurants that I have frequented with my family when my kids are down here, and even with my wife. So first I would say crossing the bridge at the end of the Garden State Parkway coming into Cape May, the first one that you would come to that would be casual dining would be Lucky Bones. Lucky Bones is directly across the street from the Lobster House. It's under the same ownership as the Cape May Winery and the Washington Inn, I believe. And it's, I'm not going to really have a whole lot to say about any of these places that really sets them uniquely apart from the other restaurants. So I'll just leave it at that. So coming into Cape May after Lucky Bones, another one would be the Ugly Mug. The Ugly Mug is on the mall right next to Finn's. And by the way, speaking of Finn's, I realized after I recorded and posted the video the other day of fine dining establishments, Finn's would not be, in my view, fine dining. Finn's would be sort of, I guess what I would characterize as premium casual dining. So it falls more in the category of casual dining, but more upscale casual dining than places like the Ugly Mug or Lucky Bones. Anyway, back to the Ugly Mug. The Ugly Mug, as I said, is on the mall. It's right next to Finn's. And I think the thing that is sort of distinctive about the Ugly Mug is when you go in there, there are mugs hanging from the ceiling. And I don't know that you can have a mug hung up now. I think they have an annual contest because they're out of space. But and by the way, as an aside, this is the library here, this blue building, blue and yellow building. Anyway, the Ugly Mug inside has, just as I described it, would have a bar area and booths all around it, and over the bar would be large screen TVs, but the ceiling in the entire place is adorned with mugs that are hanging from little hooks in the ceiling. And these are people that are part of some sort of, I guess some sort of a quasi-club, if you will. And when you get your mug hung up there, when you are a member of that club and you pass away, they turn your mug to face the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean. So here's Finn's, which I talked about before, and right next to Finn's, to the right, is the Ugly Mug. Typical fare would be burgers, fries, steaks, things like that, ribs, chicken fingers, wings, all those kinds of things that you would find at most sort of a pub restaurants. After Ugly Mug, the next one I would mention would be Delaney's. Delaney's is coming up on the next street off the mall, the Washington Street Mall. Delaney's is, for the most part, very similar to the Ugly Mug. It is an Irish pub. And you can see when I come up to the end of this this little street, there's some tables outside at the back of Delaney's. But to the best of my knowledge, it's the only Irish pub down here. And if you can see up ahead, those green umbrellas hanging, those are tables for Delaney's in the rear of Delaney's. The front of it is facing the Washington Street Mall. So that would be another place where they could accommodate a large family, large booths, a bar in the center with the large screen TVs. And also, I think another distinctive feature of casual dining versus fine dining is the price points. The price points for casual dining is lower than, what you would pay in fine dining restaurants. Next one I'll mention is coming up here on the left. And you can see this is the Virginia Hotel on the left. And I mentioned in my video on fine dining the Ebbett Room, just right there. That's the first floor of the Virginia Hotel. But this place right here is called the Ugly Mug, where these people are, I'm sorry, not the Mad Batter, where people are standing out waiting to get in. The Mad Batter is a casual dining restaurant. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And the thing that is distinctive about Mad Batter, to me anyway, is they have live music there often, and specifically on Sunday evenings they have open mic for locals, and well, it's open mic for anybody, but in the off season it's nice to come over to the Mad Batter on a Sunday night and sit and have a few drinks, have a good priced dinner. You can get a piece of steak or a burger or something, and enjoy locals taking the stage and, you know, playing an instrument and singing and things like that. The next place that I would mention as casual dining is coming up on the right, and it is called the Rusty Nail. The Rusty Nail is right on the ocean, and it has an outdoor area that in the summertime also has live music. It's up where this, just beyond where this American flag is on my right. And in the summertime, without COVID, they have live music in the evenings, and they typically might even have like some sort of a bonfire or something going, but it's very, very kid friendly. My grandkids probably prefer Rusty Nail over the other casual restaurants that I mentioned. And here's the Rusty Nail, where you see these orange and aqua umbrellas, and that area out there is where it's sand, is where they would have the live music, and kids can sort of play in the sand. Another casual dining place on this road, but behind me, that is actually on the ocean side. In fact, it's the only restaurant, to my knowledge, right now in Cape May that is literally on the ocean side of this road, which is McGlades. And McGlades does not, to the best of my knowledge, does not have a liquor license, but it's a little bit different than the other places I mentioned. It's not sort of a sports bar kind of environment, but it still is great scenery, and they have breakfast, lunch, and dinner there. Coming out Broadway, I'm going to make a left-hand turn up here and stop by or ride by another place that is casual dining, and it's called Exit Zero. And Exit Zero is the designation as the final stop on the Garden State Parkway. This is the Italian restaurant I mentioned, Sapori, but I wanted to see if I can get to Exit Zero back this way to avoid some of that traffic. And here is Exit Zero. You can see food, drinks, gifts, and gas. Directly across from me is Black Duck. I mentioned that as one of the fine dining establishments. I would characterize, well, I guess Godmother's I was going to characterize as casual dining, but that's more of an ethnic dining establishment. It's Italian food. And I'm not mentioning the little, what I would call bistros, there are several in Cape May. And actually, the small bistros are my wife and I's favorite place to dine down here. Coming up on the left is Key West Taco, right there, and next to Key West Taco is Gecko's. Key West Taco is what the name implies. It's tacos, and Gecko's is a southwestern U.S. Mexican type of style restaurant. I'm going to come back down Jackson Street here just to show Delaney's from the front, because I've driven by it a couple of times on that street that is on the far side of the mall. Well, this is not Jackson Street. I'll go down one more block to Jackson in order to show where Delaney's is, give a better sense for that. This is a Kara's here, by the way, this building with the red metal roof, and that's also an Italian place that I mentioned previously as one of the, I guess, what's billed as an ethnic restaurant in Italian cuisine. Delaney's is to my left. You can see the sign on the top of the building. It says Irish Pub and Grill. I'm going to try to give a view of the mall while I'm here. This is Delaney's. There's Tish's, the second building in, which is another fine dining place that I mentioned. And I'm going to go down to the beach and show where McGlades is. There are also several what I consider to be very good casual restaurants over in North Cape May and the Villas. There are no, to my mind, fine dining establishments over in North Cape May or the Villas, but there are several good. And here's Mad Batter again. There are several good casual dining places over there. One is Red Brick Tavern. My wife and I go there frequently. Another one would be Harpoons on the Bay, which I have shown in my rides up and down Beach Drive over in North Cape May. It's similar to any of these places with the bar and the big screen TVs, but what's really unique about Harpoons on the Bay is the spectacular views of the sunset every night. There's another place called 5 West Pub, which I've shown in North Cape May, under the same ownership as Tish's. Five West Pub, similar to these places, separate seating area and a bar, has table service, large screen TVs overhanging the bar area. All these places have similar fare. You might have burgers, and a lot of them would have pizzas, but they typically always have something more on the higher end, like steaks or some seafood, some fish entree. You can see you get a sense for this on this ride, the crowds here today. Again, it's September 12th, and it's a little after 12:30. This is Carney's. Carney's is also a casual dining, and I'm also not mentioning pizzerias and things like that. There are no real fast food places in Cape May per se, like the fast food that most people would associate with the term, like McDonald's or Burger King or things like that, Chick-fil-A. But they have their share of hoagie places and pizza places and things like that, which I guess would be considered more like fast food. McGlades is up here on the right by the convention center. You can see that large building on my right is the Cape May Convention Center. And where that American flag is flying is McGlades. I guess it's Mermaid Restaurant now. I guess they must have sold it. So that's I guess I'll mention also, up as you go further up through North Cape May into the villas, there's a couple of good casual dining places up there. There's a place up in the villas called Jake's Bar and Grill, and I showed and mentioned that on my ride through the villas. But this is a quick rundown on some of the casual dining establishments in Cape May, and at some point I'll make another video just to highlight some of these small bistros that I mentioned. And as I said, those are my wife and I's favorite, is these small bistros. I drove down this street once before. So that's I think that's going to be it for this video. As I said, I just wanted to take a quick run through town and highlight several of the casual dining establishments. Again, to recap, I would identify Lucky Bones, the Ugly Mug, the Rusty Nail, Delaney's, Exit Zero, all as being pretty good casual restaurants here in Cape May. Kid friendly, moderately priced, and a very casual atmosphere. So take care, and as before, hope this is helpful to anyone that watches it. Take care.